What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about hunters, and I have a very special guest today, SSDS, also known as Logan. He plays a lot with Bajiri, plays a lot with Evangeline, and he was actually the highest rated hunter on Alliance last season, and the second highest rated in the US. He was actually the highest for quite some time. I played against him a lot. It's just that at the end of the season, the ratings kind of changed, and whoever ends at the highest doesn't really matter a whole lot. But what's up, Logan? Welcome to the YouTube channel.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about hunters in 725 and see like what specs have changed as of recently, what specs are doing really well, and you mainly played marksman a lot in the earlier season, but then you switched over to BM. So let's go ahead and talk about BM. BM's really controversial right now. How do you feel about BM hunters transitioning into this patch? Is it strong? Is it weak? What changes happen? Stuff like that.
So let's go over like the major changes. So in 7.2.5, our ability Dire Beast and Dire Frenzy got an extra charge baseline, so it made dealing damage more consistent. Your focus generation became a lot better, and we got a lot of just PvE buffs. But to counteract the PvE buffs, we got a 10% agility nerf, a 30% mastery nerf, and a 20% armor nerf. So overall, we are left fairly weak as BM.
Yeah,
you can't do much damage. You can only do very short amounts of burst, and then after that, you're kind of just not doing anything until your next artifact weapons back up.
Yeah, and as a mage, honestly, that makes me kind of happy, but I understand that that's not like healthy for the game. You wish you could play all specs, right? Because like for mage, for example, like you could play all 3 specs, like they're all viable. So seeing that BM is completely nerfed into the ground, probably not the best. I understand that maybe there's some thoughts on BM overall, like it definitely has some problems, design-wise, how you can be 100 yards away from somebody and kill them. Maybe that's a little bit of a concern by the community, but how do you feel about that overall? Like, do you feel like there should be some major design changes, or do you think that is a good spec and there just needs to be some, some better counterplay?
Overall, it's a pretty well designed spec. It's the easiest definitely for hunter, and it's kind of annoying to get killed by pets. But like at higher ratings, you find a lot of people who know how to like manipulate taunts on pets, so you can't kill Commander Dire Frenzy. Right. People who abuse roots and all of that. So like, there's a lot of counterplay to it, so you can't stop it. But I can't see how it's annoying that like the hunter, you can fight these hunters who just don't do anything and kill you.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I definitely remember that I was having trouble like CCing your pet. You remember that in those games?
Yeah.
That we played against each other, we were having trouble like CCing the BM hunter's pet, but they actually fixed that not too long ago.
Yeah,
There was
there was for some reason all the old like vanilla TBC and Wrath of Lich King pets had these weird CC immunities coded into them, but they were always tameable and these CCs didn't exist, so they didn't like really think about it. But there was a pet like there you can tame the raid boss Stalk in Siege of Orgrimmar. So when they went back to code him to make him tameable, they took off his CC immunity so he could be cycloned, but not these random Burning Crusade pets.
Yeah, these random like wolves and scorpions or whatever. Yeah. We were having trouble like actually CCing the pets, but now that's fixed. So maybe we should see a little bit more BM Hunter. Maybe the tuning was overtuned. And I think that overall, if BM Hunters were strong, there would be a lot more counterplay available, since you can do stuff like taunt the pet. You can do stuff like cyclone them now. You can sheep them. You can do a lot of different things to these pets that actually make it impossible for BM Hunters to do damage, because it's actually like an extra DR. Like if the hunter's on DR, sheep the pet. The pet's on DR, sheep the hunter. And you can stop them really well. So I think that overall people just kind of have to learn to adapt to the BM Hunter playstyle, but right now BM Hunters are looking a little bit weak. What would you say is the strongest spec for a Hunter right now? Like what do you most enjoy playing?
The one I most enjoy playing right now is Marksman, but it's looking like Survival's really strong in a couple comps, and then Marksman's strong and like another comp. I've seen like Survival Thug is really insane and it's doing really well. Its burst potential is ridiculous. Every 20 seconds you can just do a million hit instantly and followed by another 600k hit.
That's
so you
crazy,
can just chunk someone for half their health instantly. But Survival is really good because it still has really good CC and it still has really good damage, and it has you take a new build of it, you have a little bit more burst potential. It's a little RNG, but it's still pretty good.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I've fought a lot of Survival Hunters as of recently, and they're so tanky. They have so much like base HP. It just seems like they have more HP than so many different classes.
Yeah,
that change happened like 5 or 6 months ago, right? It was just
it happened when Survival was fairly weak, and they were just like the problem with it was it had the same amount of HP as other casters did, so it would just die because it didn't have any other defensives like casters. But then they've like slowly changed it to where they have health like EKs and warriors, so they can survive more. And then just with passive buffs, like we've been getting over the past we've gotten like 60% damage buffs on some of our abilities to like make up for how bad they were. and so now they do a lot of damage and they're super tanky.
Yeah, and I think that overall allows for a really good thug play, right? Because you need the rogue to kind of orchestrate it, and then you would have problems with the other guy living, right? So it's nice to see that Survival's kind of filling that gap and has like gameplay available at the highest ratings. I think that Survival's a really cool spec. I think that not many people will really play it right now. Or even at the beginning of this expansion, like Survival is one of the lowest participating specs in all of like the beginning of Legion. So it's fun to see like it become possible that it's actually like playable, and I would like to see a lot of more people kind of dive into that spec and see if it's fun to play for them. I mean, do you play that often on your arena comp, or do you play mostly Marksman?
Well, for just the comps I've been playing recently, Marksman, but at the beginning of the expansion, I was like pretty much a survival only main. I would only queue survival, I'd only play survival because it was just the most fun and interactive spec. It has the most complex rotation of all 300 specs, and it just has the most to do until like they gave until like Scattershot was finally a talent you could take as Marksman. Then like Marksman third had more stuff to do. But I really enjoy survival.
Awesome. Well, it's good to know that survival's at least viable. Let's talk about kind of like the most popular hunter spec out of all of them, which is going to be Marksman. I feel like Marksman over this last patch, not 7.2.5 but 7.2. 7.2 offered Marksman a lot. Like they just did a ton of damage. They had a lot of different types of CC. There's a lot of ways you could play Marksman. And honestly, as a mage, whenever True Shot would happen, I would be fearing for my life at all times. So if there's any insight on like the changes for 7.2 to 7.2.5 for Marksman Hunter, we would love to hear your thoughts on it and kind of how it's shaping up to be in the overall meta.
All right, so like the major thing that made Marksman so strong in 7.2 was when they increased the stat template for PvP, they increased haste by a lot. You got up to 40% haste in arena, which like it's insane. It was the major reason why Marksman became the best spec, because it let you get those aim shots off faster, and it let you get CC. You just did a lot. Your damage was a lot more consistent. Your sidewire cooldown was ridiculous. Going to 7.2.5, we got a 7% haste nerf. So like our globals or like our aim shots are slightly longer to cast, but it's not the worst. And like Sidewinder's cooldown reduction got reduced because there was a talent you took that reduced the cooldown by 30 seconds, and that has been now removed and replaced with the new talent that every time you land an aim shot with vulnerable up, your defensive cooldowns get a 5 CD reduction. So overall, Marksman's like damage and control is a lot less than it used to be, but its survivability is a lot more because you can exil, and if you get enough aim shots off, you can have exil in a minute instead of 2 minutes.
Oh, that's really cool. So it has some kind of like reset mechanic to it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so like, I love reset mechanics in WoW. I think it offers like the better you play, the more optimal you are as a character, and I think that's like super cool.
Yeah, and this one's a lot more interesting because it's not just like hit an instant cast. It's like you have to have 2 requirements. You have to get an aim shot off, and it has to have the vulnerable debuff on it for even to work. So you can't just spam aim shots and just recover. You have to like get your vulnerable up and then do that. So you only have certain windows to get it up.
So like the better marksman player that you are, the more possible it is for you to live in arena, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's cool. I like that a lot. I think that's really cool. So you would say that like the damage overall has been nerfed, though? It's not quite as strong?
Yeah, it's not quite as strong, just due to the haste nerf, and then we got slight damage nerfs just from the little bit of agility nerf, but it's not like the worst. It still does decent damage.
Cool.
But we also there's a bug right now, and I don't know if it's intentional or not, but one of our talents, it's supposed to make bursting shot concussive shot people, but it's making all of our shots concussive shot people. So we essentially just have frozen ammo and WAD.
That's crazy. What?
Yeah.
I can't even tweet Helinka about it, dude. He quit. Oh.
Good. I'm so glad a PvP dev quit.
Feels bad, man. But anyways, so it's good to know. I mean, you know, Marksman is definitely they did so much damage last patch. It's crazy to see like how much it really did, and it's nice to see that they got a little bit nerfed, a little bit like just toned down on the damage, but still like their problems was definitely survivability. So it's nice to see them being able to like get those weaknesses up, but also kind of tailoring those strengths down to other classes. Because I felt like overall it was really hard to live against a marksman hunter because they could just randomly one-shot me.
Yeah.
But overall, do you see any comps that are like super crazy that other players out there might want to try with their marksman hunter, since that seems to be the best spec right now?
Jungle is still really good, but I don't think it's no longer played with a Disc Priest. I think our Shaman is taking the cake just for marksman hunters. What I've seen is that Disc Priests play with survival hunters, and our Shamans play with marksman hunters. Our Shamans just healed. I've always like healed hunters better than most healers because our Shamans really strived to heal classes that don't have many defensives. They're just kind of like fish. So like it's like our shaman is really good because it just does a lot of healing, and then the electrocute spam you can do is really good to help do more consistent damage as you're trying to line up marksman burst.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, I appreciate all your opinions, man. Is there anywhere that my viewers can check you out on Twitch or your YouTube?
I have my Twitch is twitch.tv/ssdslol, and my Twitter is at ssdslw.
Awesome, and both of those will be in the description below, guys. Thank you so much, Logan, for coming on the stream, or not the stream, but the video, and talking about Hunter. And I will definitely be covering the rest of the classes for 725, seeing which ones are strong, seeing which specs are the strongest throughout the classes. And you can keep updated by that by subscribing to my YouTube channel, subscribing to it, and then also leaving a like and comment down below to support the series. Let me know what you think. What spec are you guys going to be playing as Hunter, or if you're going to be playing Hunter this patch, let me know down below. But thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.